So I'm excited, I'm delighted, I'm thrilled, I am with great anticipation been waiting for this day to welcome Reverend Eliza. Gosh, why am I emotional? I'm emotional because I have a heart connection with this lady, this spirit, this person, this divine presence that goes by the name of Reverend Eliza Bloom Robinson. She is a Unity minister, ordained Unity minister in 2000. She has served churches, I know, in Texas, Missouri, probably other places. She has now, she's not in church ministry right now, she has her own alternative ministry through Unity Worldwide Ministries, the Center for Divine Awakening. It's a virtual ministry. And she does her classes, workshops. And, as I think about classes and workshops, I think that sounds so staid and old and formal. What Eliza does is facilitate experiences of awakening and transformation by really helping us to connect deeply with the spirit that is within us. And so she has a book about that, which she'll be talking more about today. I don't know what else to say except that she's a light, she's love, she's just spirit in form. And so I'm so delighted to welcome you this morning, Eliza.
That was beautiful. I love you too. We go back a long ways. We've done a lot of work together, and it's my honor to be here today to serve you all, to serve David and everybody here today. So him getting teary got me teary. So let's all just go teary, and then we'll get it over with, okay? So it's 2018. Holy Toledos, how did that happen? Anybody? Wait a minute, wasn't it 1989 a minute ago? Or at least 1999 a minute ago, right? So at the beginning of the year, I think, but you probably did a burning bowl service, yes? What'd you burn? Fear? What'd you burn? The burning bowl is such a powerful experience because you can really let go through ceremony and ritual all that no longer serves you. There's a little challenge, though, that I've noticed being in ministry for 18 years now, and much longer before that, before I was ordained as well. But many of us burn our stuff. I have a virtual ministry. I forget that I have to watch my language when I'm on stage. Many of us burn our stuff, right? On whatever day we burn it, and then a day and a half, 2 years later, what do? We go dig through the ashes and we bring it right back. Anybody? But don't you know what I'm talking about, right? This year, once and for all, this year I'm going to burn that thing. I'm going to let go of fear once and for all. How many times have you let go of fear? Right? Not to pick on anybody, but really to bring it home. We have these amazing spiritual truth principles. They are profound. They are life-changing, and I would imagine that many of you in this room have had your lives changed from using them, from applying them, from knowing them. But what I've found pretty much across the board is the general population, and I am no way implying that you are the general population of the Unity at all, but the general population across New Thought, we know this stuff, and our lives got way better when we first came into it, but then we plateau. Yes? I'm not picking on anybody. I'm just calling you to your own experience, right? Then we plateau and we go, wow, that was wonderful. Yeah, I know how to let go of anger. I know how to visualize what I want. I know how to manifest the life I want. And I've got an amazing, cool, awesome, great life. Except for that one area. Now, I've worked with a lot of people over the years, and almost everybody has that one thing. That one thing that no matter how hard you work, no matter how many books you read, no matter how many workshops you go to, no matter how many Sunday mornings you attend, no matter what, it's like that thing is still there. And for some of us, it's our health. For some of us, it's our intimate relationships. For some of us, it's our money. But we all have that one thing. Or maybe it's not even that concrete. Maybe it's more like I still have that voice of unworthiness within me. I still have that voice in my head. This is mine. I'll share mine. The one in my head that still shows up is, somebody asked me somebody asked me what I want, right? It's like, well, let me think what I think you think I should be thinking about what I think. I know, right? Like still, I've been working on this my whole life. It still shows up. There's nothing wrong with that. But if we're still run by it, there's a problem. And so my question to you is, would it be all right with you this year, like in a no kidding kind of way, like let's not even go 2018. Let's go quarter number 1, 2018. That means we have 2.5 more months. What if you could handle that now and be done with it for all time? Anybody interested? 3 or 4? Well, that's a pretty good percentage. That's not bad. Okay, anybody else curious? Like I can feel you going, well, yeah, but what do I have to do? Well, the thing is, you do have to do something, but I'll tell you about that in a moment. So would it be all right with you if life got easier? The rest of you, life is peachy keen already? I wrote this book. It's called Falling into Ease. It came to me, and it came to me in a really brilliant manner. But when I wrote the book, I thought, wow, this is really, really profound. And we have it in the bookstore, and David and I were talking earlier this morning, and I'm going to foreshadow a little bit, so don't let him know I mentioned it, but we were talking about this idea of a series later about adventure in ease. Ooh, wouldn't that be cool? Anyway, if he brings it up, pretend you're surprised. And this book is so simple to read, yet it's so profound. And I know I wrote it, but when I read it, I went, dang, that's good. The question, would it be all right with you if life got easier, was a question that I was asked when I was in seminary in 1999. And the moment, I remember it clearly, Dr. Maria Namath asked the question. She was in our class doing an intensive, and she just simply asked the question. And my mind went, what? Really? Could that happen? And I had a really good life. But that question has stayed with me for all of that time. It's a question that I live in on a regular basis. It's a question that has many layers. My first unity minister was Reverend Joel Baer out of Mesa, Arizona. And he had this amazing ability to speak on 2 or 3 different levels all at the same time. So he would be speaking to people who were brand new and never heard a new thought concept. And he'd be speaking to people who had 30, 40, 50 years of studying. And it was so brilliant. And that's what I found with this word ease. It's like this word ease is... it's a way of being. It is a state of consciousness. It is an active place, and it is not easy. I wish I could tell you that when you fall into ease, that life gets easy. And life does get easier, and you find ways of moving through life with ease. But feel the difference, right? I live with ease no matter what happens in my life, right? No matter what shows up, because life shows up because you're still in skin, and so life is going to keep showing up. Versus, I have an easy life. My life is so easy. When I got ordained, I thought that would happen. Didn't you? Pipe dream, maybe, right? It's like it doesn't, the further you go on the path, it's not that your life gets easier. It's almost like life gives you bigger challenges to walk in. But this place of ease is also the quantum field. This place of ease is your Christ presence, your divinity, your essence. The place of ease is your higher self. The place of ease is that point of oneness. Now we talk about in unity that we are all divinity, that we all have that divine presence within us, that we all are becoming Christed, if you will, in unity, right? But the place of ease is like, it's not future. It's right here and right now. I used to say all the time, we have that potential. We have the potential of awakening into our Christ consciousness. Well, you know what? It's not potential anymore. It is responsibility. It is your responsibility to awaken right here, right now, today, this year, on this planet now. Yes? Because if we don't awaken now, we're going to keep getting what we're always getting. Do you want what you've always had? Then you have to do something different. Falling into ease. I wanted to read you this paragraph. Falling into ease is about landing in the awakened heart. The language that I use is the deeper, wiser, wider, higher spiritual heart. So it's deeper and higher both. It's landing in that heart. You cannot land in your heart from your head. How many of you, show of hands, have been trying to get to your heart from your head? You can't do it, right? It doesn't work. It's like we talk about that 18-inch journey from your head to your heart. Well, you can't get there, but I know how to get there. David knows how to get there. Many of you know how to get there. And you bypass the mind and enter into the heart. And the wide open, vulnerable, full heart is the place of the awakened soul. So I want to read this paragraph. Our hearts are not meant to be protected. Our hearts are designed to be brilliant, radiant, free, vulnerable, and easily accessible. What has happened over the millennia is the buildup of emotion not felt, resulting in packing layer on top of layer of that which you thought you would keep safe. You build up all these protections, and the awakened soul and the falling into ease and learning to live in that place is about dismantling those barriers. That is work that you have to do. That is work that you have to do alone, and that is work that you can't do alone. You have to be in a container to go deeply into your heart because you bypass your ego. So today's talk is about really learning to dance in ease. Can we have that first slide, please? This slide is, and I brought my notes so I could read what the guy said about it. This is Paul Bond. I can't find my note about it. Anyway, Paul Bond is the artist, and he created this image after he saw the movie The Water Dance. And the image is about, the paragraph that I can't find in my notes is about learning to dance on the surface of the water. It's learning to dance and keep moving, and sometimes all you can do is dance on the surface of the water. And if you hold still, then you get stuck, then you what? Sink. So learning to dance with ease in your life is learning to live from a place of the present moment. It's learning to live in openness. It's learning to live with an idea of allowing what is. It is learning to drop the resistance that we have. Lean into your own body for a minute. Feel where you live in resistance. What do you resist? Feel how resistance feels in your body. Yeah. Together? Yeah. I was talking to Lisa Yelnat-Kuaso. I've known Lisa for years and popped into Youth Ed to see her for a minute. And I said, we had this great conversation, reconnection. I haven't seen her in a long, long time. And then I made some kind of sound. And she looked at me and I said, it's all about the sound because we're vibrational beings. So together, I don't know how that will record. It might hurt your ears later. So, but when we drop resistance, so in that, right, you don't have to do the sound again, but feel it in your body. Feel it in your body. Feel it in your body. It's like we live so tight, but we are energetic beings. We are vibrational beings. What happens to your garden hose when it gets all kinked up? What happens when your plumbing gets all clogged up? Makes a mess. What happens in our beings when our energetic and vibrational essence gets clogged up, gets blocked, gets tied up in knots? Dis-ease, pain, anger, loneliness, victimhood. Our lives get hard. But it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way. So I'm going to ask you the question again, and I want you to feel it energetically. Don't just hear it with your head, but feel it in your body. Would it be all right with you if life got easier? Now I want you to take that breath with me this time. I'm just going to ask it again. Would it be all right with you if life got easier? Notice what you notice in your body. Notice what you notice in the room. The entire energy of the room changed. So let's do it one more time. Would it be all right with you if life got easier? Hold that space. Feel it because it's an energetic space. It's not outside of you. It's within you. And it has nothing to do with anything outside of you. Can you imagine walking through the next crisis in this place of ease? Can you imagine bringing this sense of ease into the next time you're completely overwhelmed? Can you imagine the next time you're on that hamster wheel and your mind is spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning and doing what it does and doing what it does, that you go, oh, wait a minute, she asked me that question. Oh, would it be all right if life got easier? And imagine that spinning, ask yourself the question, and step off the wheel. It truly can be that simple. Now, I will tell you it is simple, but it is not always easy, even though you're falling into ease as you do it. So, this afternoon at the workshop, we're going to dive into 3 different areas, 3 different ways to align and integrate with your intention that will guide you forward in this year, where you will have the life that you love. You will have the life that you've yearned for year after year after year after year. We will teach you how you can access that place, that thing that you've always, always, always wanted and never known how to get. We will teach you, I will teach you how to move into that place and navigate it and dance through life with a greater ease. Now the challenge, okay? There's a challenge. There's a warning, fine print. There's something you have to give up. There is something you have to give up. Many years ago, well, not that long ago, in 2010, I was on a deep spiritual dive, and I heard the question from Spirit that said, "Are you willing to serve creation?" And I said, yes. Oh, yes, yes, yes. I'm in. The very next words were, "Then you will be asked to surrender everything." And in my yes, 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 I'm like, cool, good. I'm in. Yes. And then the surrender began. And it wasn't led by anything outside of me. I was working with a teacher at the time, but it wasn't led even by my teacher. But the container was created by my teacher and by the group of people I was working with. And I was very quickly then led to surrender, which means to let go of. To surrender means to lay down our opposition. Surrender in the dictionary, the first definition has to do with war, and it's like laying down our arms and surrendering to something different. For me, it's surrendering to love. And so I was asked to surrender everything that was unlike love or neutral in my life. So very quickly I was asked to leave my job, to leave my ministry, to leave my relationship. I was asked then to surrender any sense in my being that was less than love. If you're wondering what those might have been, anger, fear, resentment, resistance, shame, guilt. Now, wouldn't it be nice if you could say, you could get up in the morning and you could go, "Hey, you know what? I'm going to surrender anger today." All right. The thing is, it's stored in our beings, and it's only stored in our beings not because you're who you are, but because you're a human being on the planet. So it's stored in our consciousness. This is where we go into the science of the quantum field and the science of the subconscious. There are now techniques, and I have a signature system that quickly then dismantles. Like, can you imagine, like, pick one for yourself. Maybe unworthy. Don't raise your hands. But does anybody in here have a sense of unworthy in their being yet? It's just a lie. It's not true. But it's a lie that we believe. We've believed it, and we've believed it, and we've believed it. And so we have to dismantle that belief in order to access the truth, which is we are love. We are love. And life happens. And given that life happens, what are we going to do with it? But when we dismantle those buttons, those automatic triggers, that when that shows up, you're going along having a beautiful, good day, everything's going wonderful, you know you're love, you know you're one with the universe, you know everything is good, and then somebody does something, and kaboom, all that stuff comes right back in your face. It's about dismantling that. But even before we dismantle it, we can learn to navigate, to dance with ease through whatever comes. The first step, this is the hint I'm going to give you today, this is the tool I'm going to give you today, is quit believing what you believe. Go ahead, process that for a minute. Quit believing. When that voice in your head says, "I'm unworthy, I'm not good enough, I'm not lovable, I can't, I won't, I don't," stop it. Stop it. Now, the work of stopping it does take time, but you can stop it in an instant, and you can pivot. As soon as you recognize it, call it to intention. Go, "Wow, I'm in that thing again." Stop. Turn. Go, "Wait a minute, what if I could fall into ease?" Oh, yeah. Quit giving the noise of your head your power and your attention. Stop it, interrupt it, pivot, and tell the truth. The truth is you are love. You are enough. You are worthy. You are good, just exactly like you are. And when you do that simple practice, your life will begin to get easier. Your life will begin to get a little simpler, not on the outer, but on the inner. Could I have that quote, please? The next slide. This came up on my email or somewhere this morning. I'm like, yesterday, this is so perfect. If you get the inside right, the outside will fall into place. As soon as you honor the present moment, unhappiness and struggle dissolve, and life begins to flow with joy and ease. When you act out the present moment awareness, whatever you do becomes imbued with a sense of quality, care, and love, even the most simple action. When you get the inside right, this is the key to living with ease. This is the key to living the life that you would love. This is the key. This is no longer an opportunity. This is a responsibility. So circling all the way back around, there's so many of us who know this stuff. There's so many of us who know it up here. But up here isn't good enough anymore. It's not enough anymore. We have to embody it. We are standing on a cusp of a quantum leap in consciousness collectively on this planet. We know that because of all that we see on the news. We know that it has to be, because out of chaos comes creation. My stand for this world is a world awakened. I stand that this world awakens into the truth that we are love, and that we are one, and that we are compassion, and that together in our oneness we can create a world that works for all. I stand for that in the core of my being, and it is my message to the world. And what I know to be true is that there are some of you in this room who want this just like I do, but don't know how to do it. How to do it is take the principles you learn, take what David teaches you, take it and implement it and put it into your lives and work it, not from your brain, but from your being, because we need you. The world needs you to awaken, to know that you are love, to know that you are one with all of humanity and all of the world. And a reason I know that the world needs you is because you are here this morning. There is nobody that I'm going to let off the hook. David might let one or two of you off the hook, but not me. Yeah, I go home tomorrow, so. But lean into it. Can you feel that within you? Can you feel that thing that you've burned year after year after year, and that thing that you've put on your white stone, that desire that you've had in your heart for years and years and years, now is the time. There is no more excuse. Now is the time. Can you feel that? One. Can you feel that? Because you can't think, thinking it's fine, but that's not enough. And so I invite you, I call you, I command you in the most loving form of command to come this afternoon and learn the 3 keys to integrating and aligning with that which is within you, so that you too can live and dance through life with ease, aware of the truth of who you are today and for all time. Let's take this thought into a time of meditation. Close your eyes. Take a breath. And lean into that thing you most desire. That thing, that inner impulse within you. Feel it already there. Just lean into it. And maybe it's just simply love, and maybe it's a big dream you have, or maybe it's ease, or maybe it's health, or maybe it's money. Whatever it is for you, lean into it. What do you most desire? And find it. Bring it from your head down into your heart. Down into that place of your deeper, wider, wiser spiritual heart. If you don't know where it is, it's lower than your physical heart. And just place it here. And recognize it here, and tell the truth to yourself. I yearn for this. I yearn for this. And feel it as a seed planted in your heart. Feel the roots growing into the earth of your consciousness. Feel this seed sprouting. Feel this seed growing. Feel this seed coming into full bloom. Feel this seed as that which we call God calling you into a greater expression. Just feel it. Lean into it and become it. This seed of desire is God, Source, Creation, Spirit within you, calling you, leading you, inspiring you. This seed, this idea, is your I am. So try it on. I am. I am. Take it deeper into your being, into your body. Connect to the seed, connect to the vibration of it. And lean in. Let it grow. Say in the quiet of your own heart, I am this thing. It's within me. Right now, today, I begin to allow it to become me. As you lean into this truth, your life, lean into the place, the consciousness, the experience of ease in it, through it, and around it. This is your truth. This is your call. This is your responsibility. Say with me, I am. I am.
The love of God is in my life. I the strength of God is in my life. I am strong. Let's all sing it together. The life of God is in my life. I am whole. The life of